Hello everybody, this is Brisbane 05 Blaster here and welcome back to another video of this channel. In this last episode, the reason why I'm pretty happy because in this last episode we somehow managed to slap the shit out of Liverpool thanks to a hat-trick from Gabriel Martinelli, once the fraudulent player of Arsenal but finally getting some rhythm and form, and obviously a brace from Gabriel Jesus, a goal from Zinchenko, I believe, and a goal from Martin Odegaard, a skipper. Might have probably put the tips on Arsenal, and they managed to slaughter Liverpool. However, second half was kind of even. Liverpool did actually score two early goals, but it wasn't enough as Arsenal's defense managed to hold on, and Arsenal also scored two goals later in the half. So yeah, but in today's episode we're actually going to be up against West Ham United right here at the Emirates Stadium, because we were at Anfield, so this time it's about time that we can finally have a home game. So yeah, but I really hope you enjoyed this one, as this game is going to be pretty good. And before we actually get the video started, I need to tell you something. So once we actually finish these two matches, which is happening on December, West Ham and Fulham, we're actually going to do a spin the wheel to see which players will be leaving, and also get to see how many players will be leaving this after the season. So that means at least maximum 3 players should leave this at the end of the season. So if it lands on 1, only 1 player will leave. If it lands on 2, 2 players will leave. If it lands on 3, 3 players will leave. So it's based on the players who are overdue, like who are yet to sign, who are like basically due on, that like playing their last season for Arsenal, like Kane Tierney playing his last season for Arsenal, William Saliba, Cedric, and the list goes on and on. So whoever players have like 6 months or 5 months to go, they're actually going to be in the wheel to see which players will leave and probably join another club. So yeah, I really cannot wait to see how things go. But we need to first finish those 2 games, as it will decide our fate here. So yeah. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy this one. Kind of. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Somehow my hair went up for a second, but anyway. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get ready for this match. Alright everybody, we're here to see Arsenal versus West Ham. So as you can see, Arsenal take on West Ham. And in the previous news right there, Gabriel Martinelli was actually the player here. And this is actually the Team of the Year 2023 midfielders shortlist. And sadly, one of our players are not in it. So it's going to be Kimmich, Rodri, De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva. 3 Man City players in the Team of the Year 2023 midfielders for, the best midfielders. And this is our club news. Team of the Week announced. And yep, Gabriel is there. And Jesus is there. Camavinga is there. Smith Rowe is there. But yeah, looks like Arsenal will be taking on West Ham, which will be a pulsating game as it's a London derby. So we're already done with Spurs and Chelsea, one which is a win and one which is a loss. But now, and for this one, there's no there's no press conference or so it's all good. So basically, we're going to take a look at the starting 11. So our defensive are kind of losing their fitness, so it's about time we need to make some changes. But as you can see right here, Arsenal are still 3rd place despite the win over Liverpool. Liverpool are now way behind. And funnily enough, this week, Arsenal are actually going to take on Liverpool. And, bad news for our Arsenal club and, Arsenal fans is we lose another player which is valuable, and that is Calafiori. We don't have Saliba for the Liverpool clash. And we also don't have Odegaard. He might be returning on November. But I'm not sure about Saka. Saka may have a chance of returning, but I doubt it. But anyway, but let's not focus about reality and such. We're going to focus about this game, as is Arsenal versus West Ham. Take a look at the pre-match report. They have Danny Ings. Ings is there. Fornals is there. Paqueta is there. Silemakers is there. Fred is there. Sushek is there. Cresswell, Kehrer, Loizao, Johnson, and Fabianski. And then they have Kadzuma, Aguerd, Ariola, Bowen, Antonio, Cornet, Neves. They're actually 8th place, but recent 5 matches, they actually lost 4 games and drew 1. So, yep, that's about it. And we're obviously going with the Gegen pressing, so not surprised. But let's take a look and see how things go. So yeah, these are the changes I need to make. So Odegaard maybe can be in the substitution, but then again, he's also losing a bit of fitness. So Kai Havertz is 58. Odegaard might be like slightly above. Saka's 65. Yeah, Odegaard is 63. So Kai Havertz, Saliba, Gabriel, they're all needed for rest. Saliba's 39. So let's make some changes before we get things started. So don't go anywhere. Alright guys, so I already made some important changes here. Well, maybe I can probably take off, let's maybe try to take off Jesus, but yeah. I've already made some changes here, so I changed most of the starting 11. Kane and Tierney, despite having some low fitness, we want Tierney to stay. So he comes in for Zinchenko, Timber for Gabriel, Calafiori for Saliba, Tomiyasu for White, Pepe for Saka, Trossard for Odegaard, Rice for Camavinga. Well, Camavinga's fit. Vieira for Havertz, and Jesus might be needing a change because he's also losing a bit of fitness. But then again, he's already put a scintillating performance against West Ham, so... No, sorry, against Liverpool, so... Now, if Eddie Nketiah, who's now the preference striker, if he actually delivers pretty well, this could be good. And the reason why I put Declan Rice is because Declan Rice has a history with West Ham, and he also won his first trophy with them. That was the Conference League, so... Yeah. So this could actually be a... This could probably... this would be a type of strategy to maybe... turn down, to maybe like lose West Ham's confidence right there. So yeah, so this could be interesting. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. And right after I make some changes from the striker position, we're going to get started with the match. Alright, so as you can see right here, Declan Rice is being mentioned in the background right there because as usual, he had a history with West Ham. So that's the reason why he's mentioned. It looks like Arsenal take on West Ham, and this is actually the last fixture for the first half of the season before we get to the double half, I would say, second half of the season. So West Ham is actually their last opponent for the first half of the season. So if they actually do pretty well, this could be pretty good. So Leandro Trossard comes in for Odegaard, but Rice is now the captain for... the third preference captain for Arsenal. And the reason why he's in the starting 11 is because he had a history with West Ham. And plus, maybe to see his former West Ham players would probably be a wonderful experience. So, let's take a look at the starting 11 for Arsenal. So, Ramsdale still in goal. The defense has changed with Tierney, Timber, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, Martinelli, Vieira, Rice, Trossard, Pepe, and Nketiah starting. Substitution, we have Partey, Gabriel Jesus, Camavinga, Reece Nelson, Zinchenko, Leonard Bernea, and Runarsson. He already had his debut against Brighton, so this is also a pretty interesting game, and his second game, so... And let's take a look at West Ham starting 11. Fabianski is in there. Fred is actually the skipper for West Ham. I think he had a history with Manchester United. He actually, in real life, is playing for Fenerbahce, if I'm correct. So, yeah.
Thank you for attending the Emirates Stadium. Enjoy the match.
So, if Arsenal get this win here, this could be pivotal. Because West Ham is also like Spurs. They're also a pretty important team. Or Aston Villa, in a way. So... I wouldn't be pretty underestimating West Ham, especially in real life they defeated us. And that was, some people called it the Christmas curse, because at that time we were first in the table, but then we lost to 2 games, West Ham and Fulham, the games that we should have beaten, could have, should have. But looks like West Ham will be starting off right there. There's Ings. And as usual, the defense is not doing pretty well, they're just giving enough space. And Ramsdale somehow makes an important save to deny Paqueta's goal here. A potential goal from Lucas Paqueta. Sometimes he gets his consistency, but when he plays against some other opponents, his form just somehow slips away. But anyway, West Ham gets their first corner of the game. The Hammers. And it's actually Saelemaekers. He goes long. Martinelli has it. Somehow managed to get the ball away. Pepe just has to do an acrobatic kick to get away, but it's still with West Ham, so you don't have to show off there. But Saelemaekers somehow manages to keep the ball in. He has players to find space, but Declan Rice kind of knows his West Ham players, so he intercepts at the right time. Finds a through pass to Martinelli. This could be a chance for Arsenal to get their first blow. Still Martinelli here. Still Gabriel Martinelli finds Nketiah, but what a save from Fabianski. And Arteta's fuming there because he knows that was an easy chance. But what a save from Fabianski, the Czech Republic keeper, I would say. There are two Czech Republic keepers, Souček and Fabianski, I'm correct. But looks like it's a corner kick for Arsenal. Martinelli goes long. Fred has it. Paqueta somehow gets it away, but Nicolas Pepe has it, finds Rice. Pepe gets tackled, but it's still with Timber. Finds Declan Rice. Still Rice, finds Trossard. Skills the player. Trossard crosses it in. And Fabianski makes a save. He goes long. But is it a good one? No, it isn't. Calafiori nicks this one. Trossard has it. Goes deep. But Kehrer makes a good interception, and this time West Ham would finally get a chance, but they lose the ball at the last second. Taney has it. Kieran Taney finds Calafiori. Calafiori finds Tomiyasu. Takehiro Tomiyasu, the Japanese man. The Japanese right back finds Eddie Nketiah. Nketiah tries to shoot, but Fabianski saves this one. But Rice has it, and Rice scores against his former club. That's what I call a dagger at your own team, your former team. And he's obviously going to celebrate against his own team just by hugging his coach, Mikel Arteta. Man, that was a good save from Fabianski, but Rice with a tackle, with a one-on-one tackle, and somehow scoring it with perfection. And that too when Declan Rice scores against his former club. They know that this is not good. The West Ham supporters know that this is not good. But Rice scores against his former club, especially also the skipper, the backup skipper for Arsenal. The West Ham are looking to not think about that goal which Declan Rice scored, and they're thinking of trying to have an attack of their own. But as you can see right here in the familiar face section, Rice did have history with West Ham. And he was actually involved in that Conference League win under David Moyes. So, yeah. But this is a pretty good experience from Rice, winning his first trophy as a West Ham player, because no one has ever won a trophy with West Ham. Or maybe for domestic, like smaller cups, but not like Premier Leagues or so. But here's Pepe. Pepe shoots, but Fabianski saves it. But it's still with Trossard, but Trossard just had to ruin this one. And looks like Arsenal's next match is an away game, and they're up against Fulham in Craven Cottage. In the Craven Cottage. So they're up against Fulham, the team that defeated them in the Carabao Cup. So Arsenal are looking for revenge here. But looks like Fabianski is thinking of going short, but no, he's going long here. Is it a good idea? It is actually. It is. Saelemaekers make a touch on it. But Fabio Vieira makes an interception. Martinelli has it, but he loses the ball. And Saelemaekers has it. This could be a chance for Saelemaekers to stride in. Saelemaekers shoot, and that hit the post and into the goal. And that's a goal from Saelemaekers to give West Ham the equalizer. I have a feeling Arsenal may look like to use their trump card in the second half if it stays locked like this. And you know what I mean by the trump card. Gabriel Jesus. That's the man. But unlucky here from Ramsdale. It hit the post and went into the net. Saelemaekers scores a goal for West Ham. His first goal of the game. But Martinelli has it. Still the Brazilian left midfielder Martinelli Still Martinelli. Still Martinelli. He's not giving it. Martinelli shoots. And he puts Arsenal in front again. This player is somehow managing to get his aura back and finds his form at the last minute. Martinelli scored a hat-trick against Liverpool. And he's probably going to do the same to score the goal. And give Arsenal the lead. A pretty late lead, I would say. But man, Martinelli, who has been a fraudulent player for many matches, has finally got his form ever since that late goal against PSV Eindhoven. Might have regained his status there, his reputation there. And that's how he finally got his form back.
Goal for Arsenal. Number 11, Gabriel Martinelli.
I would tell you, Martinelli has a lot of assists. But now he's finally getting to have that form. But West Ham are looking to score an equaliser before they even get to half-time yet. Fred has it, the skipper. The West Ham skipper has it. Finds Fornals. Fornals finds Fred. Manages to lose the player, the defender there. And this could be an easy shot, but what a block from Tierney. And this could be half-time unless... I was going to say unless if they give it away, but it was kind of too late for that. It looks like Arsenal are going to get that lead over West Ham. A much needed lead thanks to a goal from Gabriel Martinelli. But Salamaker's obviously scoring that equalizing goal. But Martinelli scored very quickly after that equalizing goal from West Ham. But now since Arsenal have the lead, are they going to use the trump card wisely? Or later? Because obviously West Ham are going to think of scoring from there. And Nketiah has probably put up his stinker. I mean, yes, he somehow scores goals, but he's somehow inconsistent. Whereas Jesus is consistent, even as a starter and a substitute. So, I think this could be the time that they actually can bring a striker. And obviously, trust the 16-year-old right back, Leonard Bonilla. But Arsenal had more shots, more possession of the ball. Well, slightly. They have 49. It's kind of low, but still. But looks like Arsenal will be making some changes. And it's actually going to be from Kieran Tierney. He's somehow losing his fitness. And then Nketiah, yup. He has 67. It could be the right time to actually make a use of the striker. So don't be worried. Don't worry, guys, as we'll make some changes. So don't go anywhere, as second half will be coming up shortly. Alright, looks like Arsenal are making a triple substitution. And you know who the player is? So Nketiah comes off for Gabriel Jesus. Tierney comes off for Zinchenko. And Tomiyasu comes off for Bonilla, the Frenchman. Gabriel Jesus has it. He tries to dummy the kick, but somehow the defense manages to read it in. And now it's Paqueta with it. The defense is somehow giving some space. This could be a chance for Salamakers to score a brace there. He crosses this one in, but the cross wasn't enough. The volley wasn't enough. And it's going to be a throw in here for West Ham.
Substitution for West Ham United. Coming off the pitch, number 8, Pablo Fornals, to be replaced by number 20, Jared Bowen.
Fornals comes off for Jared Bowen. And West Ham, they're actually going to think of scoring the equaliser. They're dumbing the kick. Finds Bowen. Finds Luizao. Luizao finds Fred. But what an interception from Bonilla. But he loses the ball suddenly. Out of the blue moon here. And it's going to be another throw in here for West Ham. He has the pace. He has the potential. But not enough. And West Ham's next game is against Brighton. Bowen has it. Does a back heel pass to Cresswell. Cresswell crosses this one in. Ings has it, but Ramsdale should easily get this one. He does. And he's going to go long. But is this going to be a costly one? I was going to say yes, but no. Jesus somehow has it. Finds Declan Rice. It's Declan Rice with it. Declan Rice tries to find the player, but then he got kind of nicked at the last second. And now here's Souček, the Czech Republic man. Souček finds Salamakis. He has players looming. Crosses it in, but Hurrien Timber with a block. And West Ham are going to make a substitution. Danny Ings comes off for Michail Antonio. And Antonio is probably a pretty good lethal finisher here. So this could be trouble here for Arsenal there. But Bernier somehow gets this one away. But it's still with West Ham. Fred has it. Finds Salamakis. But Bernier makes a very good tackle. And that was a much needed tackle from the 16-year-old. Finds Hurrien Timber. Finds Declan Rice. Now they're looking to kill off time despite having this 1-goal lead. A slim lead. Now Gabriel Jesus has it. Jesus finds Trossard. Trossard shoots. But what a save from Fabianski. This could be a chance for Arsenal to get to double their lead here. Especially later in this half, I would say. Martinelli is actually going to do the cross. Crosses this one in. But Paqueta has it. Is Zinchenko going to get this one? He does. Finds Hurrien Timber. It's Timber with it. Timber goes slowly. Shoots. But Fabianski makes another save. And Declan Rice will be taking a knees here after scoring a goal. And he's going to come off for Kamavinga. Now they're actually going to think of finishing it off from here since their players are already coming off for their experienced ones. Martinelli crosses this one in. But I'm pretty sure that was Kehra. He made a good block. Pepe has it. And that's game, set and match. That was a wonderful finish from Nicola Pepe. I kind of got lost for a second. Got zoned out for a second. But that was a wonderful finish from Nicola Pepe there. If you have seen it. Yeah, I was seeing the defender there. Kehra had it. It was not a volley, sadly. But a wonderful control from Pepe. Managing to put it, play on. Have a play on here. And then scoring a wonderful goal. And that could be game, set and match.
Goal for Arsenal, number 28, Nicolas Pepe.
Fred has it. Finds Souček. Unless if West Ham can somehow think of scoring a quick goal. But are they going to do it? They can at least draw this game. They can't win, but they can draw. Kehra has it. Kehra finds Luizao. Finds Fred. It's Fred with it. Fred finds Antonio. Antonio shoots. But sadly, Ramsdale makes a save for him. And Partey comes in for Pepe. Just recently after scoring a goal. And especially Partey could play his... We don't know because Partey are thinking of playing his last few minutes, I would say, for the game. Not his last few minutes, but the last few minutes of the game. For the Ghanaian player. And it's actually a goal kick if you actually saw. So Michail Antonio's might have bent it, but Ramsdale luckily didn't save that one. Timber has it. Finds Calafiori. Who's yet to score a goal. But finds Jesus. Jesus finds Kamavinga. This could be a chance for him to score. But he just has to do a cool finish. Came out fresh for Declan Rice. And score a goal. He didn't even think of shooting it. He just went in cool. Like type of cool finish. Just hit it at the bottom left. Bottom corner, I would say. And that is game, set and match. As West Ham will sadly not get a win or a point from here. At least a point, I would say, because if they can at least draw the game, they would at least get a point. Because this is an underdog situation from West Ham playing at Emirates. So, yeah. But an interception here from Gabriel Jesus. And that's actually Kamavinga's 5th goal. Trossard has it, finds Kamavinga. maybe for the Premier League, but he might have scored a lot of goals, like off Premier League competitions. He scored that goal against Man City in the Community Shield. But looks like Antonio might actually get a consolation goal, but Ramsdale still denies him. And that might be a chance for West Ham to at least get a consolation goal. My mouth's actually getting dry, but this is actually very interesting, even though it's already done and dusted in West Ham's point of view. Salamakers goes long, and that was a wonderful header from Mikel Antonio. Scores a consolation goal for West Ham. Sadly, it's the only goal that they could score in this half. Wasn't enough. And it's actually the same scoreline. 2-1 at first half, 2-1 in the second half. But it was a wonderful assist from Salamakers. Finds Mikel Antonio, scores with a header. But Ramsdale didn't have to save that, as he knows that he won the battle. Well, basically won the war, I would say, because he lost the battle there. But Antonio gets on the score sheet. Mikel Antonio. Looks like
West Ham United goal, number 9, Mikel Antonio.
I was going to say, looks like Arsenal will be kicking it off, but the game ends with Arsenal getting a win over West Ham, 4-2. It was a pretty comprehensive victory, a convincing victory, and especially against the Hammers. Hammers are putting up a pretty good fight, but it wasn't enough. Especially with a wonderful save from Fabianski, but Rice scoring. Then that late finish from Martinelli in the first half might have sealed it. And then that goal from Pepe. They were fighting, but then ever since they conceded that Pepe goal, it was game, set, and match. But it's full time, Arsenal 4, West Ham 2. And looks like at the 76th minute, Pepe scoring that wonderful goal. Not a volley though, but still wonderful. And then obviously an assist from Gabriel Jesus finding Camavinga. He has a lot of assists in the game. But a wonderful finish from Camavinga. A cool finish. Might have been one of the best goals that Camavinga has scored. But then West Ham did get a consolation goal out of this. It was a headed goal from Mikel Antonio, but it wasn't enough. It looks like we're going to be going to the post-match interview. See what type of questions will be asked for Mikel Arteta.
Can we just grab a minute of your time for a few questions?
It's like Arteta is pretty happy about it. Was that the kind of straightforward win you were expecting? Yeah. Sometimes it has to force me to get it in, so just a disclaimer here. We were comfortable winners in the end, but you have to respect your opponent. They're a better team that you're suggesting. That's why it's so important for us to defend well. Up against West Ham United again, your team was able to turn things around. I really don't know what he's saying, but alright. It's not so much about doing things differently. It's about doing things better. We had a plan for how to deal with the opposition, and today the lads follow instruction to the ladder. So yeah, a slow start, but you ended up winning pretty easily by 2 goals today. Were you getting nervous in the first half? You were on top, but the goal wouldn't come. Would it? Obviously, you always hope you'll score when you're on top of the game. We didn't start so well, but the boys were patient. We knew if we kept pushing and probing, the breakthrough would come.
That'll be all, thank you.
The breakthrough would come. Sorry here. But looks like Arsenal, a well-deserved win over West Ham. And looks like that ends the first half of the season. The next game is against Fulham. And as you can see right here, this is actually pretty good here. A good one from Arsenal. As somehow Aston Villa did lose that match. Aston Villa, I think, lost to... they lost to Manchester United. Whereas Man City didn't make any mistake. They won against Everton. But looks like their next game is against Sheffield United. I have a feeling they will not make a mistake from here. But now we're in second place in the table. Anything is about to happen. We're actually ahead in goal difference. But We'll see how things go. I have a feeling I wanted to think of doing the tactical view. Depends if I do well in legendary, because the only challenging here for me is I had to put this difficulty as a legendary. So yeah, looks like Eduardo Camavinga is now the assist leader. Camavinga goal seals West Ham United. The newest, obviously the assist leader with 15 assists, 5 goals. Won the Premier League, obviously. So yeah. So Arsenal's next match is against Fulham. I just wanted to let you know Kieran Tierney deal with us is running down. Liverpool have approached us with a pre-contract agreement. As you know, this means any decision on his future now rests with the player himself. Kieran Tierney could simply walk away from when his contract with us expires and then join Liverpool as a free agent. If you want to keep him at the club, I would suggest you try to renew his contract here as soon as possible. So, Liverpool are actually offering a job for Kieran Tierney. So, we're going to go to a squad here. But is Kieran Tierney happy with the club? Well, sort of. Now he's content. Since we finally gave him some recognition. But yeah. Looks like Martinelli will be taking rest. Jesus will obviously be taking rest, sadly. So that's not pretty good here for us. Trossard will be taking a bit of rest. Well, it's just the middle. But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll need to advance first. Yep. Looks like Manchester City and Liverpool are actually offering him a new club. And there is obviously a chat from Declan Rice. And it's going to be a very good one because he scored that goal. I've been playing pretty well lately. I'm feeling really good. I hope that means I won't be on the bench for the game against Fulham. And obviously we got more important games coming up. Just concentrate on your fitness till then. I'm grateful for the time. Yo, that's my reply. Now he's actually content. But as you can take a look at the squad here. Let's go to team management here. Or squad hub, I would say. Since now he's approached by 2 clubs. He's actually submitted a transfer request. So we obviously got to view the offers. He's still unhappy. And yep. He's obviously accepted. He had no other choice. But made a free transfer to Man City and Liverpool. So there's no chance of me declining the contract. But like we said with him, we could still re-sign him, so anything can happen. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one, as our next game is against Fulham. So, just to mention you that, I'll be talking to you when we conclude the video. So, when I conclude the video, I'll talk about that. So, anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll be back for our next video. Goodbye. Hello guys, we're back, and just as we witnessed, we got a convincing win over West Ham, and now we're actually second in the table, just 3 points behind Manchester City. So if we actually get a win against Fulham in the next game, which I'll be talking about later in the video, we could actually be at least, and I mean by at least, reducing the gap. But anyway, just before we actually... when after the game was finished, Tierney was actually approached by 2 clubs, and that was Liverpool and Manchester City. And because he was desperate to leave the club, he was accepting the offer. Well, unlike Partey, we actually had to make a choice if he wants to leave the club. But Tierney might actually leave the club maybe at the end of the season. So if by any chance, we still have an option to renew him. But like I said initially, I told you in the beginning of the video that I am going to be making a wheel of names to see who will leave the club at the end of the season. And if transfers happen like on January, that doesn't count. Sadly, that doesn't count because that was not as per my decision. It was as per his decision or their decision. Well, I mean, Partey was my decision because he was unhappy about the club, but it's not. He didn't leave at the end of the season. He's only going to leave in January, so it doesn't count. So that player will not be counting to be leaving. So it'll only count when it is at the end of the season. So yeah. So Caden Tierney is approached by 2 clubs. Despite Tierney at least having a bit of game time playing in 2 back-to-back games, he's still not happy and he still wants to leave the club. Man City and Liverpool, our 2 rival clubs, are coming up with an offer. Well, we already have the same thing with Partey, but we denied Man City's offer with him and at least agreed to have Liverpool accepting that offer with Partey. But if we actually sign Tierney, he could actually play with us if Tierney's not leaving. But anyway, depends. Depends if Tierney would leave on January. So we'll see about that. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Our next game is against Fulham. So yeah. But like I said initially, if that Tierney offer, if we can't renew the contract with Tierney, then it'll be the same thing. But it doesn't count as the player who's leaving because that's by his choice. So yeah, it's not by, by our choice. Even though it is for the player's wish. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. This is Brisbane 05 Blaster here. That's me. Signing off.